Hi there again, everybody. Welcome back to Prestige Auctions. Well, we're going to be looking at 1986 today. The reason for that will become relevant quite soon, but I want to just talk a little bit about the 1980s. So what was so special about the 80s? Well, whether it was one of the best eras for music, in my opinion, and also what we have big shoulder pads and everyone was wearing leather and stuff like that. It was just a real... I think at the time, a time that we didn't think a great deal of. It was just a time that we was living. But you know what? When you look back to the fantastic 1980s, what a great time it was. But lots of things have changed since the 1980s to now, and a lot of the things that were in the 1980s are now becoming fashionable, saleable, retros all in, and all the rest of it. So let's just have a think about, well, let's have a look actually at some of the things in the 1980s. So a gallon of petrol was costing you £1.79. A bottle of whiskey, bottle of Teachers was £7.59, and then 20 cigarettes, Lambert and Butler 100s, £1.34 for 20 cigarettes. I mean, you think now, what's that? I'm going to say probably 10, 12, 14 quid, maybe more, I don't know. And a Sanyo VHS recorder from Comets was £349.99. Now, I suppose in equivalent terms, things like that have come down in price compared to what they were in 1986. A hot point fridge freezer, £309. You know, probably not too much different these days. Philips microwaves and stuff, so anything the kind of electronics and stuff. But look at that one there, mobile phone, Mitsubishi Roma, £2,200 when you consider how cheap they are these days. So, and the average house price there was 48,000. I'm not quite sure where they get that from, because 48,000 for an average house price. I think probably in Grimsby and Clifford's where we are, that would have been a lot cheaper. But when we're looking here, 250 grams of Country Life butter, 47 pence. And then you've got Smith's Crisp 6 bag at 55p. And so a Ford Sierra 1.6, £7,478. But you might be thinking to yourself, what is he rattling on about? Why is he talking about all this stuff in 1986? Well, the reason that we're going to be talking about it is because of something that we found in a house clearance. And the thing that I'm talking about is this. And this is what we are talking about. So, for all of you younger people that are watching this, you'll probably never even would have known that Carlin, as we know it today, used to be called Carlin Black Label. And Carlin Black Label used to be in a red can. So there you go. Now, there's a lot of things that are quite interesting about this, especially to our younger viewers, is that Carlin, as probably the most, I would probably say it's one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling British lagers, was always popular. But back in the day, it was called, as you can see there, Carlin Black Label. And these cans used to be available in the shops to buy, of course. And this is how they looked. Now, you look at it today, Carlin as a brand is just called Carlin. So the Black Label got dropped long ago. And also, I want you to pay particular attention to the top of these cans. Now, these were found in a house clearance, and somehow somebody had managed to leave these in there and forget about them or whatever. But we're going to be doing 3 different videos, one with some Stones Bitter as well, and one on 7-Up of all different cans. Now, the thing you'll notice here is this. So it wasn't until the 1990s, I believe, that, or maybe late 80s even, that we went over to the new kinds of ring pulls that we now have. So of course the idea was that ring pulls were being pulled off cans and being strewn all over the streets and that. And of course they weren't getting recycled as much. They was just getting trampled into roads and paths and chucked in bins. So they decided to change the ring pulls to be static at the top of a can, and they're the ones we know now. Now, these old ring pulls, basically you lifted the ring pull up and then you pulled the whole thing off. That's what opened your can. So when you look at those, you know, it's changed a hell of a lot to what it is these. But you know what? I think there's almost something quite cool about these old cans. They look quite interesting, quite different. And what is the relevance, though, of 1986? Well, I'm just going to turn these cans over, and I'm going to show you on the bottom of them that these were made, or best before, the 20th of May, 1986. Now, you think about that. That is nearly 40 years ago. 40 years ago for the Carlin Black Label there, that they was either made or run out of date, one of the two. So before we finish this, and just one of the things that we did see on that graph on the computer just now was that a pint of beer then was around 82 pence. Thing is, 82 pence for a pint of beer in the shop, that's maybe one thing, but you know, on the offers that you get in various supermarkets these days, can of Carling can be as low as 50 pence sometimes. So maybe the price of some things has maybe come down, kind of. But there you go, 1986, those ones. But the question for the comments is very simple. Would you drink it? Leave us a comment, let us know. Would you have a go? Or would you just say it's much better off staying in the can? Don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up, it does help us a lot. Or subscribe, that helps us even more. And thanks ever so much for watching. We'll catch you at the next one.